My name is Ryan Wilson. I'm 32 years old and work at a trading company. I belong to the sales department at the company, where I enjoy working collaboratively with my colleagues. A new department head is coming from a branch office to our company. Her name is Emily Carter. She seems to be highly educated. Her arrival is going to completely change my work environment. That day, I returned to the office after making some rounds outside. Immediately, I am called in by the department head. "You wanted to see me." What awaited me in the department head's office was an unhappy-looking Emily.
What have you been doing?
I was out on calls.
Because you weren't here, there was no one to take care of me.
Since her arrival, Emily had been treating me like a servant for some reason. I was burdened with all kinds of odd jobs and tasks. "I'm sorry, but I had an important meeting with our client." I explained honestly to her.
You're only good for taking care of my personal needs. I can't believe you can't even do that.
"But my main job is to work in sales."
It doesn't matter. I can't believe that a high school graduate like you is even working at our company.
I don't think education should matter. I clenched my teeth and suppressed my anger. Emily scoffed at my response.
Only low-educated people say that. Actually, only well-educated people are excellent.
"Yes, ma'am."
Just do as I say from now on. And don't go out on calls unless I permit you to.
"Yes, ma'am." I had no choice but to accept her unreasonable demands. Yet, I had no intention of quitting the company. Because I owed a lot to the president who had given me a chance despite my background, and I wanted to give back to the company. Despite Emily's unreasonable demands, I continued working. One day, as these days continued, Emily called me into her office again. I went, expecting another order, and Emily said something unexpected.
Do you even understand what your job is?
"Isn't taking care of you, ma'am."
What are you talking about? You are in sales. It's your job to secure contracts.
Suddenly, Emily burst out in anger. We had this conversation before, and when I had answered sales previously, she had mocked me. "Well, yes, that's true, but..."
Here is your sales performance for this month. You are significantly behind, and it has been like this for the last 3 months.
Emily showed me a printout of the sales performance graph. It was true. But I had my reasons. "But this isn't entirely my fault."
Oh, what kind of excuse are you going to make?
"I take care of you, the department head, other than my own business. I do chores and your work for you. In that case, the amount of time I can spend in sales is reduced. Moreover, there are many times when I'm not allowed to go out on sales calls by the department head. That's just too unfair. If the situation were more equitable, I could definitely deliver results." Emily's face turns red with anger at my rebuttal.
A high school graduate like you working properly doesn't benefit us at all. If you were any good, you'd manage to get results in sales while also doing errands. If you can't do at least that, there's no point in employing you.
That's absurd.
From my point of view, it's absurd that someone like you is working here. If you were really grateful to the company, you wouldn't have any complaints.
But I wasn't hired by you, and I think doing my job properly is the best way to repay the company.
That's why I'm telling you, you're not repaying us. Everyone, including the president, is spoiling you too much.
I despair that she refuses to listen to any of my opinions. Could you at least do a little less chores? Then I could repay you with better sales results.
No way. That's not allowed. If you don't want to do chores, we'd better hire someone else.
What do you mean?
Just what I said. A failure like you is fired, and we'll hire an elite from Harvard.
Emily said this with a mocking laugh.
Our company is quite popular, so we get lots of job applications and transfer requests from elites who have graduated from famous universities. So, it would be better to use them, don't you think?
So basically, you think you need highly educated people in this company.
That's right. And it doesn't look like you're going to Ace Corporation on sales visits.
Emily said this with displeasure. Ace Corporation is a nationally famous food manufacturer and one of our most important clients. I was in charge of negotiations with them. What's the problem with that?
I can't believe someone with your low education level is negotiating with such an important client.
But I was assigned to handle it even before the department had arrived.
Be quiet. I can't put you in charge of that job. Change this job with another employee immediately. In fact, just quit this company right now.
What a tyrant. But as long as I'm under her, I might never be able to work satisfactorily. Understood.
What?
I think I will leave this company. I wanted to repay more, but it can't be helped.
The best repayment you could make is by leaving.
I ignored Emily's sarcasm and left the department head's office. I then began preparing to leave the company. The next day, the executive vice president appeared in the sales department. Emily approached him with a nervous rubbing of hands.
Oh, what can I do for you?
The executive vice president looked sternly at Emily.
Head to the company's reception room immediately and bring Ryan with you.
Hearing the executive vice president's voice, I was startled. I immediately got up and headed to the reception room. Along the way, Emily, assuming I had messed something up, kept making snide remarks. However, since I couldn't think of anything I had done wrong, I didn't reply. Anxiously, I entered the reception room where the president was waiting. And his face was pale. What? Emily, who entered behind me, was lost for words. But it wasn't because of the president. Tom, the president of Ace Corporation, was sitting beside our president. He is 60 years old, but his power has not weakened.
Well, what brings you here today?
Emily quickly tries to gauge the mood with her words, but Tom remains silent.
Anyway, both of you, please sit down.
Prompted by the president, we sit across from Tom.
So, what can I do for you?
Emily tentatively asks Tom.
Yesterday, there was a communication from your company to ours. It was about changing the person in charge of our contract. I wanted to discuss that.
At Tom's words, Emily's face stiffens.
That's because, until now, Ryan here has been in charge. But actually, he's decided to resign. So, we had to change the person in charge.
I see there were such circumstances. Ryan has been associated with our company for a long time, and I really relied on him. So it's a sad story.
Hearing this, I bow my head slightly.
By the way, may I know why you resigned?
Well, that's...
No, that's really his private matter.
Sensing danger, Emily cuts me off. No, it's okay. I smile at Emily. Emily gave me a look that said not to say anything unnecessary. However, I ignore it and honestly explain the situation. For a long time, Emily has ridiculed me for my low education, and she was about to remove me from the ACE account for that reason, so I decided to quit. As I state this clearly, the president slumps his shoulders and covers his face with his hand. Sitting next to him, Tom's sharp gaze becomes even sharper as he glares at Emily.
Is that true?
Under pressure, Emily makes excuses.
I didn't judge him solely by his education. He actually hasn't been delivering results in sales. So I advised removing him from the charge considering his capabilities. Our contract with ACE is irreplaceable for our company.
I see. Is that indisputable?
Yes, it's true my sales performance was not good. However, the reason lies with the department head. She burdened me with menial tasks because of my low education, which took away my time for sales, leading to poor performance.
That's just an excuse.
I don't think so. Honestly, I was often denied permission by the department head to make outside sales calls. It's hard to achieve good sales performance under these conditions. Tom turns his gaze to the president sitting next to him.
It seems there is quite a problem with your department head.
That is certainly true.
Wait a minute.
Emily outright contradicts.
It's true that based on his sales performance, I intended to remove him from the ACE account. However, the story about me burdening him with errands and not allowing him to go on sales calls is a fabrication he made up. There's no truth to that.
Tom nods.
Indeed. We can just listen to one side and make a judgment.
Of course.
Then let's ask the employees in the sales department.
Really?
We'll ask the people in the sales department about how you've been treating Ryan. That should reveal the truth.
At Tom's suggestion, Emily breaks into a cold sweat.
No, I don't think we need to go that far.
Why not? An important person in charge is about to leave. I think it's crucial to get to the bottom of the cause.
No, but I don't think it's a good idea to involve people from other companies in our own internal problems.
I see. That's a point too.
Yes, and the decision to leave was ultimately his own. I didn't force him.
In reality, I had been told I was fired, but there was no proof of that.
I see. If he's leaving, then it can't be helped. By the way, have you decided where you're going next?
No, not particularly.
Well then, come work at my company. Let's work together.
What? What are you saying?
Emily is shocked and her eyes widen at Tom's proposal. This reaction is understandable as Ace Corporation is a very popular company with a very high employment competition ratio. Even highly educated people are hard to get hired by the company.
Are you going to let him join the company?
Yes. Is there a problem with that?
There is no problem, but
I have tried several times to bring Ryan into our company, but he never nodded yes.
really, the president himself was trying to recruit him.
Yes, Ryan is very important to me. He's my nephew.
What? Nephew?
I sigh and nod. I would have preferred to keep it to myself.
Oh, sorry. I just blurted it out.
Tom laughed loudly.
So, is Ryan really Tom's nephew?
The president asks with wide eyes.
Yes, he is. He's my brother's son.
For me, who lost my parents early, Tom has been like a father.
Wait a minute. That can't be true. Why would the president's relative be just a high school graduate? That can't be.
Emily questions, to which Tom scratches his head.
Well, I did try to persuade him to go to college, but Ryan insisted he didn't want to rely on anyone anymore and forced himself into a job. He really is as stubborn as his father.
Hearing this, I just give a wry smile. I really thought so.
But I'm relieved that he turned out to be such a capable man.
Emily scoffs at Tom's words.
Capable. With all due respect, Ryan hasn't had much success in sales. How can you call such a person capable?
Tom's face turns serious as he listens to Emily's words. He doesn't look angry but then turns to face Emily. Getting contracts isn't everything.
Do you understand? Business isn't just about sealing deals with a signature. Rather, that's where it begins. During the contract period, it's important to work comfortably with each other, discussing and deepening relationships. Ryan was primarily doing that.
Emily seems not to fully grasp Tom's point. Since she's new, that's understandable.
Ryan's reputation is well known in this tight industry, and there are many companies that have extended their contracts because Ryan is with them.
Certainly, this company does have many long-term contracts.
Of course, not all achievements are Ryan's, but a significant part is, and that's a fact, and these do not reflect in sales performance. Still, Ryan is proactive, considering his clients' needs.
That may be so, but
I then speak up. Tom, it's okay now. I've always wanted to repay this company and its president. That's why I kept declining your offers.
Ryan,
The president looks at me with sadness in his eyes. And I didn't want to be thought of as a nepotism hire either.
Well, I understand what you're trying to say.
But I thought maybe there's nothing left for me to do in this company. That's why I decided to quit. It's a waste of time to keep discussing my situation here.
Is that so? Well, I'll always be waiting for you to join our company.
I nod with a smile. Really? Then, may I take you up on that offer to join your company, Tom?
Wow, have you finally decided? That's great. This will make my brother rest easy.
It has nothing to do with Dad. Like I said earlier, I've already given back to the president and the company, so now I think I owe Tom a debt of gratitude.
Well, whatever the reason, it's good news. All right, let's get you started on learning the job right away.
I got it. Tom's face, initially joyful, turns stern in an instant.
Then, I must also inform you of this. We will be terminating our contract with your company.
As Tom announces this, Emily stands up, and the president turns pale.
what do you mean?
Don't you understand? I said we are terminating the contract.
Tom states firmly.
please wait.
The president looks as if he might faint.
Could you explain? You surely don't mean that you're terminating the contract because your nephew is leaving the company, right?
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's so selfish. How can you just do that?
Emily yells at Tom.
To cancel such a long-standing contract for that reason.
Perhaps citing my nephew isn't the right justification. Shall I correct it to say that it's because Ryan Wilson is leaving? That's the reason.
What's the difference?
We've had a long-standing business relationship with your company because of Ryan. It's not just because he's family. I've already explained how he works.
Emily bites her lip in frustration at Tom's explanation.
His consideration in dealings has been remarkable. We continued our contract with your company because we trusted Ryan. Simply put, from a business performance standpoint, it would be better for us to contract with other major corporations. We're currently receiving offers from other major companies. We had to end a contract somewhere.
The president mops his brow with a handkerchief.
I understand that, but
I am not shallow enough to move solely by money. Being able to work with people I can trust is far more important to me.
Then why are you ending our contract? What you're saying doesn't make sense?
I'm not saying anything odd. The one I trust is not your company but Ryan.
Emily's voice falters at Tom's statement.
A person who judges others by their educational background and casually speaks of firing them is not someone who should be in management. We can't work with a company like that.
Don't say that. Wasn't it all just lies he told?
No, that's not the case. You refused the investigation. At that point, your company's credibility was already tarnished. I can't entrust my valuable nephew to such a company, nor can we continue the contract.
Emily grinds her teeth.
What did I do wrong? Education is an important measure of a person's excellence. What's wrong with judging people by it?
Emily finally snaps, unable to accept her faults.
I worked hard during my student days to improve my educational background and then entered society.
Tom sighs.
I acknowledge your effort, but there are people in this world who don't even get a chance to make such efforts.
Tom looks at me.
Ryan was very capable in his school days. However, he couldn't pursue further education because he lost his parents. The same was true for his father.
What? I'm surprised by this sudden revelation.
We weren't financially comfortable. I never thought I'd go to college. However, after graduating high school, my brother started working right away to earn tuition fees for me. That's how I managed to go to college, and he was much better at studying than I was.
Tom chokes up a bit as he speaks. I've never heard of it before.
Yes, such people exist in the world. I'm not denying your efforts, but there's no need to demean others over something like educational attainment.
Emily listens to Tom's story with her head bowed, but her expression suggests she hasn't fully accepted his point.
Tom, I am truly sorry.
The president apologized to Tom.
From start to finish, this was all due to our lack of management ability. I truly couldn't believe that Emily was being so disrespectful to Ryan. I am very sorry.
Trusting your employees is important, but you are a bit too lenient.
Tom conveyed this firmly.
Going forward, we will conduct a thorough investigation regarding Emily at our company.
Emily was shocked at the president's words.
Are you serious?
Yes, and depending on the results, we may have to discipline you. For now, you are on suspension. Please take this time to reflect at home.
At that point, Emily apologized to me.
I am truly sorry for all the disrespectful things I've said. I won't say anything that you would dislike from now on. Please forgive me.
However, I shook my head. This is beyond the point of being resolved with an apology. Please accept the disciplinary action. I said this coldly, and Emily, shoulders drooping, left the reception room. Then, the president looked at me with a remorseful expression.
Ryan, I am truly sorry. As a company, We will ensure that such incidents never occur again. Would you consider staying with us?
The president's request made my heart waver. But I realized my feelings were no longer with this company. I'm sorry. I would like to work to repay Tom from now on.
I see. Understood. Good luck.
The president, with a sad smile, celebrated my new beginning. Subsequently, the internal investigation revealed Emily's misconduct in full light. Her actions had significantly impacted sales, leading the president to fire her. Afterward, Emily struggled to find reemployment and ended up working part-time to make ends meet. Following her dismissal, out of gratitude to my former company, I suggested to Tom that he should reinstate the contract with my previous company. Tom reinstated the contract, and my former company continued its operations without facing closure. As for me, I was warmly welcomed into Tom's company. I made significant contributions to increasing sales and, recognized for my efforts, I was appointed to be the executive starting next spring.